Hey everybody, it's Hunter Scott, your MonsterCub, and today on Cooking with MonsterCub, I'm going to make something that I've been eating most of my adult life, if not longer than that, and that is sushi. Sushi can actually be very affordable and easy to make in the home, and today I'm going to walk you through a couple different rolls and see what you guys, see what you think. Here we go. To begin with, you're going to need sushi rice. Sushi rice is actually pretty easy to make. You need a short grain rice, and you're going to use 1 cup of rice per 2 cups of water. You're going to put in a bowl, a pan like this, and you're going to cook it down probably for about 20 minutes until the water is reduced and you have nice fluffy rice to work with. You're going to add some sushi, not sushi vinegar, but rice vinegar to your rice in order to make it a little more malleable and get rid of some of that starch so that you can actually work with it when it's done. Let it cool down a little bit, and it really helps to make nice smooth rolls. As far as toppings go, we have red bell peppers, we have avocado, we have green onion, we have cucumbers, we have asparagus, and for our proteins we have a lovely crab meat salad. That's imitation crab mixed with mayo, cumin, some salt and pepper, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of rice vinegar, and some celery salt. Just spice it to your taste. We also have spicy tuna. I go for a red tuna fillet from Publix for this, and you use about a half a cup of mayo with about a 1/3 or 4th cup of sriracha and a teaspoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of sushi rice vinegar, and you just mix it thoroughly. And I also have some nice pieces of imitation crab. This stuff is, basically made for California rolls, so we're going to be using that for that today. And we also have our ginger, our sriracha, our mayo, our wasabi. It's going to be a good time. And before we get going, make sure that you check out my shirt. This is from Mr. Bear in Montreal. Thank you again so much for all the swag. Please check them out. You guys are really going to like their stuff. But enough about that. Time to get down to the way I like to cook. And that's without a shirt. So, we have all of our toppings ready to go. The only thing we need to do to really start is get our nori. You can order this on Amazon, and they actually have it at Walmart, I found out. But different brands, different types. This is a gluten-free one, organic one, so whatever works for you. We're going to start with a basic Maki roll. And this is probably the easiest one to make so far, so we'll start with that. I'm going to put my nori down on my bamboo mat. I'm going to take some of my sushi rice. You're going to want to spread it over the bottom half of your nori. Ideally, you want to get enough to just coat the surface of the nori, so that you have a rice backing to work with. Need just a little bit more. Alright. So we're going to be doing our California roll first. So what I'll do is I'll take our crab meat and strip it in half. Take another one, rip it in half, put it down. We're going to take our avocado, and we're going to put a few pieces along this way too. You don't want to put too much topping inside of this because the roll will be too big and a little hard harder for you to manage. You can make some huge maki rolls, but to start with, I would suggest just kind of going with, you know, 3 or 4 toppings. I'm going to use the cucumber strips. You want to cut these into basically like matchstick size. I'm going to break this one in half just because it's a little long. Great. So we have crab meat, avocado, cucumber on our rice. What we're going to do to roll the roll, we're going to take the edge, we're going to pull it to the top of our bamboo mat. I'm putting another cutting board underneath here just so that you can have extra leverage whenever you're moving it. If you rolled a burrito or rolled a doobie in your lifetime, this should not be that hard. So we're going to take the top of the roll, we're going to pinch the toppings, and then we're going to bring it over, just like that. You're going to pinch where the bamboo mat rests on the nori to create a seal so that roll is intact. And once you do, you're going to pull the bamboo mat away and continue to roll along the nori and tuck and tuck and tuck, just like a good dry clean. And you should end up with something like this. If for some reason it's still a little wet, just take some water or some of your juice here and just use it to seal it. And that's number 1. My trusty sushi knife. Very gentle when you start cutting these, because if you don't cut cleanly, the nori will actually stick together, and when you try to separate your pieces, they will drag the roll apart. So you want to get 6 to 10 pieces, but definitely an even number. This is going to be 8, which is pretty standard. So take our avocado, as you can see here, it's a classic California roll. You can see the meat, and then the cucumber, and the avocado. Have even a little avocado flare up here. This one didn't come out very tight, but most of them are pretty tight. So that's our California roll for now. The next one coming up is going to be our spicy tuna roll. It's probably one of my favorite fillings to put inside of a sushi roll. And we're going to make this one inside out. So for our inside out roll, we're going to need a piece of parchment paper. This is to make sure that when we put the rice on the outside of the roll, it doesn't actually stick to our bamboo mat. So here we go. Put the parchment paper aside. That's not going to be a problem. Take some sushi rice, a good bit. We're just going to smear about 80% or so of our nori, leaving one strip across one side because we're going to use that to seal the roll later. You got to be careful with your rice too. So what this is doing now is that some of my rice is a little too sticky, and so it's like sticking to my spatula when I try to smear it across the nori. So, a little more, and we're good. Okay, so we have the rice across the nori ready for it. We're going to take our parchment paper, and basically we're going to do, put the parchment paper down, flip it over, right on top of itself, so that the uncovered piece of nori is closest to you, because that's where you're going to basically fold over top of the toppings and then roll up. So here we go. Gonna take our spicy tuna. You don't want to overload it. Yet again, you're just making sure. Also, mine's a little runny, so any kind of excess fluid, it can make the nori a little bit soggy, and it'll be harder for you to keep it together once you've rolled it. For this one, we're going to use a asparagus spear and use red pepper. This is just a red bell pepper that I cut up, the little sweet ones you get at the store. You know, I'm going to add a scallion to it too. So we're just going to cut here. That way we have 2 scallions. We're going to lay that on top. And then we're going to pull the untouched part of the rice over top and roll. But when you do, you're going to be wrapping the paper and the bamboo mat together. And just roll it away and pull the paper up with it as you go. And if it does get stuck, like mine's getting a little stuck, a little bit of tuna came out the side. I'm going to pull it back to where you started and just roll it again. And you should end up with something like this. Again, make sure it's nice and tight. Nothing's leaking. You're just going to use your knife and slowly cut the pieces. Okay. I'm going to add this to our plate with our California rolls. And as you can see here, in the foreground, these are the completed roll. So those are good to go. And the next one we're going to do is a crabmeat salad roll. So, new piece of nori in our mat. Got a little juice from our last roll on there, so I'm just going to wipe to be dry so it doesn't stick. Put our mat back down, and we're going to put rice on it again. You don't want to overdo it with rice, obviously. I mean, you're basically creating a structure inside the sushi roll to keep everything kind of bound together. And in this instance, you don't want to have too much to crowd the roll with everything else you want to put inside of it. So, rice is in the right spot. We're going to take some of our crabmeat salad and try to work it into like the middle of the rice spot you put down. To make it a little more exciting though, I'm going to put a dash of sriracha down the middle. So we got that done. We're going to center it on our bamboo mat. Roll over, tuck. Use our mat. Here they are here. You can see they have the sriracha inside them. The last one I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 of them. It's a spicy tuna hand roll. Take your nori. You're going to find the middle. Slice through it so that you have 2 separate sheets of nori that are rectangles like this. Put one aside. You're going to get your sushi rice. This time you're only going to get enough to basically be like the size of my thumb. Just enough to make a small ball, if that. And you're going to put it, that was even too much. Put it here on the bottom right corner of your handle. From there, actually I'm going to spread it out a little more. Okay. From there, apply your spicy tuna. Again, not very much. Directly to the rice. Then you're going to take your cucumber. You want to look for matchsticks, basically. Cucumber and green onion. Split these in half and then down the middle. Now, you're going to take the back right corner and basically tuck it. If stuff starts coming out of the back of it, just push it back in and adjust the corner. You're going to roll on that corner. Until you're giving a coat. For reference, this is what the spicy tuna rolls will look like once you're done. You want to make sure that one end truncates out. So, just to review with everyone, we have our Crabmeat California roll here, our Crabmeat salad with sriracha here, spicy tuna roll right here. We have our spicy tuna hand rolls right here. And every sushi meal should be garnished with pickled ginger, a little wasabi, and some soy sauce. This is not low sodium soy sauce, but I don't really care. And that's it. I'm gonna stop making this stuff. I'm gonna eat right now. This has been Cooking with MonsterCub. Enjoy. So now that all of our plating is done, and I'm certainly hungry, it's time to eat. Everything's ready here. I hope you guys learned something. Stay tuned for part 2 where I get into the more advanced rolls. This has been Cooking with MonsterCub. Bon appetit.